Thanks everybody for coming out today, and it's great to be joined by City Council member Todd Gloria. I want to thank Todd particularly. He's been a tireless champion for this community, and I know how he has been looking forward to this project in particular. I want to thank our city team that's here as well, Mark Nasser and the entire team. What a great bunch of smiles on their faces here today as we're going to make a huge improvement for this neighborhood. I also want to thank, of course, our Fire Rescue Chief Brian Fennessy and the crew of Fire Station 5 for all of their great work and being here as well. I also want to thank one of our community leaders, Luke Terpstra, former president of the Hillcrest Town Council. Luke, thank you for being here today, my friend. And of course, I also want to thank a guy who does phenomenal work throughout the city here, Rob Quigley, for designing this station. Rob, thank you for your great work as well. So I think it's probably no secret to all of you and some of our community members that are here that we are standing at one of the busiest fire stations in the city, one that answers nearly 6,000 emergency calls every single year. This facility behind us was built in 1951 and has faithfully served Hillcrest and the surrounding neighborhoods for 65 years. And hundreds of firefighters have been stationed here over the decades, and they've no doubt saved countless lives by coming to the aid of San Diegans in their time of need. But now we're a much different city than we were in the 1950s, and how we respond to fires and other emergencies has changed. So we need to ensure that every neighborhood has timely access to the public safety services that they need. That's why we have made a concerted effort to build more new fire stations and rebuild some of the ones that we already have. Over the past year, we have opened or broke ground on 4 new fire stations in neighborhoods throughout the city of San Diego. We started with opening of the new Mission Valley Fire Station last fall. It was the first new fire station built in the city in over 7 years. And then earlier this year, we broke ground on the new Bayside Fire Station to better serve downtown residents. And recently, we started construction on a new station in City Heights. These are incredibly important infrastructure investments that will ensure that we're able to meet the public safety needs of our growing neighborhoods, not just now, but well into the future, which is what brings us, of course, here to Hillcrest today. While this fire station has served the community very, very well, it has outlived its usefulness. It's actually too small to house modern day equipment like ladder trucks. The trucks are simply too big to fit inside. So we're here to announce that we are replacing this station with a bigger, modernized facility that will be able to house more equipment and fire vehicles to better serve Hillcrest and our nearby neighborhoods. And this new building is going to be more than double the size at nearly 11,000 square feet. In other words, it's going to be big enough to grow with the community that it serves every single day. The current building behind us will be demolished later this month, so the reconstruction project can get started. And during construction, the current crew will be operating out of a temporary facility located on 3rd Avenue in northern Hillcrest to ensure that we don't have any interruption in service. Building this new fire station is a key step to boosting public safety in the neighborhoods that we need it the most, and to make sure that we are providing an equal level of service throughout the city. All in all, this is going to be a great looking fire station that will serve San Diegans for generations to come. And this is just one of the very exciting projects that we are working on in partnership with the council, Councilmember Gloria. It's going on across the city. We're spending nearly $500 million on neighborhood improvements this year alone, from fixing our streets to building new parks and fire stations like this one. We're making these investments to help build our better future and provide San Diegans with the neighborhood services that they deserve. So I can't wait to come back out here for the not only today is the groundbreaking when we actually open this beautiful building, to be joined with all of you and all of the community. And as I said before, this is a project that has had not only the entire support, but it's been long overdue. So with that, I'd like to introduce, as I said before, a gentleman who's been a champion for this area and a champion for this particular project. Please help me welcome Councilmember Todd Gloria. Todd?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Hillcrest in Council District 3. I'm pleased to have you all here. Chief, thank you so much for being here. Luke, on behalf of the Hillcrest Town Council, and of course all of you, this is a really important day for Hillcrest. And I think for the media that's present, you don't have to live or recreate or work in Hillcrest to care about this particular project. As the mayor mentioned, this is one of the busiest fire stations in our city. And the folks who stay standing behind me today, these folks run all over this city, down to downtown, through Mission Valley, through to Fashion Valley. They provide a level of coverage in an area much greater than Hillcrest. And so this investment here is not just about District 3, but it's about our entire city getting a higher level of public safety for all of us to enjoy. So I'm pleased that we're here today, and there's a lot of people that need to be thanked. I think first and foremost are our city staff, most of whom are standing here, for whom these projects do not get designed, engineered, drafted, funded, processed, purchasing and contracted, if that's a verb, all of those things. Guys, thank you so much for what you're doing to make this project possible. They have been tireless in their effort. We hit a couple of roadblocks along the way, most not of our doing, but you persisted because my constituents wanted this, that you know this is a priority, so I thank each and every one of you for what you've done. And of course, to our firefighters who've endured this facility for so long, guys, thank you so much for what you do. They provided, obviously, incredible public service for all of us. Anyone who's been in that facility, and I know the mayor and I have been in there many, many times, this is not to our standards in the city of San Diego. It sure as heck isn't to our standards in District 3, where, as you all know, we don't do ugly in this council district. And so we have so much more that we need to do in this facility. This is a growing community. This is a community that is changing. And as the mayor mentioned, this facility needs to change with it. If we have a district that's being asked to do more in terms of housing units and height and density, we need to make sure that the public investment is here to match that commitment. And so that's what the city is here doing today, and that's why I'm so grateful for this invention. Now, I mentioned that it's going to be a beautiful building. That's thanks to our friend Rob Quigley, who's here. Rob, thank you so much. This and the Bayside. And if you don't know Rob Quigley, just look at that central library and know that he knows how to get a beautiful project done that's up to our high standards here. So Rob, thank you for your participation in this. And lastly, the members of the community. Hillcrest is a very special place. We are a tightly knit community. We have wonderful community organizations that care deeply about this. And this is one community when we see needs, you guys roll your sleeves up and you get to work. Luke has been doing that longer than most as our immediate past president of the town council. Luke, I'm grateful that you're here on behalf of a whole lot of people who live in this community who will be better served because of this facility. And so while we break ground today, as the mayor mentioned, the best day is the ribbon cutting. So I want you all to be back here in 2018. Is that right, Chief? I think that's right. In the meantime, I want to just ask for my constituents' patience as we have the interim facility over on 3rd Avenue. You know, that's going to be a little bit of disruption, but it's necessary to maintain public safety in the meantime. So I'd ask for your patience as those vehicles come in and out of the medical center area. But just know that that's really important for keeping response times down, keeping you safe and protected until this facility is built. And when it's done, I look forward to certainly more than 65 years. Quigley doesn't do anything for less than 100 years, something that will long serve this community well. So, guys, thanks so much. This is a great day for Hillcrest. Proud to be here as a small part of the effort that got this thing underway. I'll give it back to the mayor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd. Next up, I'd like for the leader of our fire rescue department, who's doing a remarkable job for the city in every neighborhood. Please help me welcome Chief Brian Fennessy. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. All right, well, thank you very much. This is a happy day for a fire chief. Anytime we're breaking ground on a new fire station, it's a big day. I am excited to be here today. This has been a long time coming. Our providing excellent emergency fire rescue and emergency medical services to the residents, visitors, and businesses in Hillcrest and adjacent communities continues to be a high priority for the fire rescue department. Out of a total 62 fire companies staffed on a 24-hour, 7-day basis in the city of San Diego, Engine 5 is the 3rd busiest. They respond to nearly 6,000 calls for service each year. This is significantly busier than 20 years ago when I was a firefighter at this very station. Back then, we operated both an engine and ladder truck company. 4 persons per apparatus and a battalion chief for a total of 9 that stayed here. I'll tell you, it was tight. I was sharing a story right before this started where we lived, our quarters, there were 6 of us crammed into a very small space separated by curtains, and we all slept with a shoe next to our bed because if any one of those firefighters snored, they could expect to get hit with that shoe. It was very, 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 very tight. We discontinued staffing a ladder truck at Fire Station 5 many years ago as the apparatus we were purchasing, as the mayor mentioned, were too large. Not to mention housing 8 firefighters in such small living quarters was an ever-increasing challenge. I'm pleased that the station will be built, will be much larger and able to accommodate modern-day fire apparatus and more comfortably accommodate the crews. I'm told the new station will be more than double the size, thank you. And while there are no current plans to once again assign a ladder truck company to the new fire station, knowing that this will soon be possible provides an opportunity for our team to reassess our response plans and, if needed, place an additional resource at Fire Station 5. In closing, and on behalf of all the men and women of the Fire Rescue Department, I want to extend our appreciation to the Mayor for making this multi-million-dollar neighborhood investment in Hillcrest. You have made the building and/or rebuilding of fire stations a high priority, and we thank you. I'd also like to thank City Council Member Todd Gloria and the entire City Council for their unwavering support of the Fire Rescue Department and making public safety their #1 priority. Thank you. I'll give it back to the Mayor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. And as you heard from myself and Councilmember Gloria, strong community support for the men and women that serve at this station, and strong community support for moving forward with our new station. And Luke Terpstra, who's been a leader on this for a long time. Luke, I wanted to thank you for your continued vigilance and your support, and please come up and say a few words.
Sure. Thanks, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember Gloria, for including me in this important groundbreaking ceremony. It is truly an honor for me to be here. I also want to take a moment to thank Councilmember Gloria for his courage and leadership during the last 8 years. What a long, strange trip it's been. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll applaud for that.
I'm especially going to miss the amazing and legendary Todd Squad.
Yes.
They should all receive little Nickies for their service to our community. It wasn't long ago, just a few years, many of us were standing in that block down there on University, looking at, in complete horror and disbelief, the big fire. That was always one of my favorite blocks in Hillcrest. Wooden, historical, buildings and shops, and I thought it was a goner. But the street was filled with fire trucks, not only from our station, but for neighbor stations and firefighters. And because of their heroic, hard work, only a few buildings were damaged, and it's been rebuilt, and it's better than ever. We thank the fire department for that. Thank you. We're coming into a new era here in Hillcrest and Uptown, and we're going to be seeing some development. I think we all need to pay attention and be aware of it and plan for it and think about it and speak out for or against it and be a part of the process. I think a big, important first step is this new fire station, and we thank you for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. Well, thank you. I think we will now turn some dirt, and then any of us will be available for any questions one-on-one.
This will double the size of the facility.